Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel, and was very glad be here on site, offline, seeing a lot of friends. I think when I sit down over there, I was trying to remember when was the last time we talking something on the stage. And especially after Mars and also Dorita, he is keynotes, I feel also one more thing very happy is today looks not just myself feeling we are getting more important in last 1.5 years times. So today, after Mars and Dorita was briefing a lot regarding the new behaviors of the consumers, new activities on the market. I think here in my part, I will touch a little bit on how we can do together as an industry, as a vendor, or as operators. A couple of very interesting findings, a lot of information on this chart, two charts. On the left side, since 2014, Huawei was published the so-called GCI, Global Connectivity Index. And we put all these countries, around 80 countries in this chart. Two interesting findings which demonstrated during the pandemic as a country, the challenge and the opportunities. Firstly, we see in last 1 year's time, all the GCI index of each country, it doesn't matter in which phase, they all getting increased. So this is quite average. I mean, from the front runners to the starters, there's all certain increase. Secondly, we see the impact from the economic point of view. The one who are in the front runners has better GCI index are doing far better in terms of the impact on the epidemic for last year. So this is give the outcomes of the overall ICT infrastructure investment towards the relationship with the economic in last 1.5 years time. On the right side, we also see from the enterprise, the conclusion I think it was IDC did a survey coming from more than 700 or 800 big companies from the IT decision makers. The digital infrastructure resilience programs are among one of the 3 most important areas people are looking at. And when we're talking about, as Mars saying, when we're talking about the digital economic, and on the right side, we all realized very clearly cloud computing, ICT, AI, big data are the most important factors. And all the partners, stakeholders in the industry have their roles to working on this. However, what I described in the last page, in last 1.5 years times, we also see there's a lot of new demands coming from the industry, coming from the end user, coming from the enterprise. For example, on-demand access. For example, multi-cloud-based services are getting more and more important. Also, we believe the deterministic networks are so important towards the future development on the direction of the digital economic. I share very short couple of cases. The first one is a very interesting one in China from China Telecom, actually the second one as well. A few years ago, China Telecom launched the cloud network integration strategy. I think they launched the strategy from the last year. And a few years ago, they also built the 4 tiers of their DCs around their e-cloud, in purpose of building e-cloud for the national DC, the regional ones, also province ones. And as I think similarly as Slava just said, they also have the ambitions to make sure the cloud and the private line revenues can make up 15% of their revenue. But what I want to emphasize here, there's one thing I think very interesting, also something very, very important for us to look at is Shanghai Telecom as one province in China Telecom. To implement the cloud network integration, a multi-cloud aggregation management platform has been built. And more importantly, to trying to using the best of the synergies, they even created a unified account, unified service entries, and unified billings. As what Dorita he mentioned, as operator, I think very important during this phase trying to use our best service in the front lines, which is those .com companies normally couldn't have this capability. I think the last mile service is always most important of the most operators. In this case, I think Shanghai Telecom was doing best on these synergies. Second is we also picked one case very interesting to share regarding the digitalization of the healthcare and the education industry with the deterministic networks. As what we can see in the history, in all different vertical industries, typically from police, from the state grid, we see many of them has in the history built their own private network, dedicated network. However, with the new demand coming from digital economic, in some of the new industry, with the pushing of these more and more the digital needs, I think now we see another new trend or new wave or new necessary to build one private network for all. And in Ningxia, in one relatively remote province, where also the economic was relatively poor within all the provinces in China, and local government was very focused on the e-government project, including how to using the best digital economic to pushing in the healthcare as well as in the educations. So instead of the traditional way to sharing the public network, Ningxia Telecom also built one private network for all. And surprisingly, they see the return of investment only 1.5 years. So this kind of deterministic network experience is almost can provide a zero waiting for the remote, the telemedicines, also zero freezing for the education. We believe China and also in Russia, there's a lot of similarities in terms of government policies, in terms of the industry development. Similar case, similar story, we also can see probably the opportunities locally here. And last, but I think also very important, during last 1.5 years' time, as Huawei, we also see that the position of Huawei also changed. The discussion, the topics between us and our customers also not just limited only on the networks, only on the technologies. The more and more things I think is about the ecosystems. It's about how to do something together, booming one industry. So we believe with this trend, also very necessary for Huawei, a few months ago we launched our new Eurasia vision, so-called Tiger, build a digital community with a shared future. I think a share is something very, very important as at this moment we mentioned to facing the digital economics. And last, I also wish everyone can have a very fruitful day today and stay safe and all the best. Thank you.